Hello students, welcome to Math 2425 Calculus 2. This course is being offered as a HyFlex course. That is, it's going to combine fully online instruction and fully in-class instruction and also hybrid instruction all together in the same section. Furthermore, students are free to move from one type of instruction to another in the mid-semester. In short, I'm aiming toward the maximum flexibility for the sake of the students. Thus the name HyFlex. Okay, let's begin. This is a start page, but I'm in as an instructor, so let me open the student view. And this is a kind of screen you're going to see. Okay, we have UNT Dallas logo, and then there are some links. And then here's some things to do. Please explore this on your own. I'll leave those to you. Now let's go to the left-hand side here. This is where everything that is important is posted. First, the syllabus. No, first the announcement. Okay, here's an announcement, but actually there's nothing. The instruction videos will be posted here, but there's nothing here because I'm recording those instruction videos right now, so nothing is available at this moment. So let's get out of here and then go to syllabus. Of course, as the semester goes on, there'll be more and more announcements. No big deal there. All right, syllabus. Let's discuss the syllabus. No, this is too small. Let me right-click and let's use the full window. Okay, that's better. Here's a syllabus, and it begins with the instructor information, how to reach me, office phone, and email address. This is the best email address. Yes, you can use Canvas Mail, but there's a danger. It may not reach me, and then it doesn't support attachment very well, and so on and so forth. There are some drawbacks. So the best way is to use this email, UNT Dallas email. And then here is the course information. Well, there's virtually nothing here. That's because the semester didn't begin yet, and these are not determined yet. By the time the semester begins and you are here, all these must have been filled, so don't worry too much about it. Catalog description, that's a bit bureaucratic. And then all these, course goals and overview, learning objectives, all those are rather bureaucratic. Nothing that is important here other than these two. Requires text and softwares, and to a certain degree, recommended text and softwares. Requires text and software, that's WebAssign. I'm afraid it's an expensive software. Students will probably have to pay something like $100 per semester. I know it's a ripoff, but we don't have much choice here. After all, it comes with an ebook. So old days, say 20 years ago, students used to purchase textbooks for $100. Same thing is going on here, except that we have an ebook and then some further services such as homework tools, and then immediate feedback and things like those. I'm going to talk about WebAssign in a separate video, so let's just move on to the next item here. Wolfram Player, and that too is required. It's free. Unlike WebAssign, which is expensive, this one is free, so there's no excuse not getting this. Let's click this. You're going to be led to this website, Wolfram Player, and all you have to do is start download, click, and follow the instruction. That's all there is. Downloading will be done very quickly, less than 5 minutes. And once the installer is downloaded, installing it will take up to 15, maybe 30 minutes, depending upon the speed of your internet. And if you're in a really slow environment, maybe about an hour. In any case, once that is done, then you can use this Wolfram Player. Now, once you install the Wolfram Player in your notebook, then you can read all my class notes and answer keys and so on and so forth. Maybe it's a good idea to stop this playback now and install this Wolfram player right now. Link is provided here. Or maybe you can do it right after this video. In any case, please do this in the first week. Now, almost every semester, I used to have a student or two, or sometimes more like this, week 13, and then they come to me and complain, oh, this file is not opening up. I can't see it. Well, that's because the student did not install Wolfram Mathematica or Wolfram Player, which should have been done in week 1. Now, all my lesson notebooks and answer keys were written in Wolfram textbook. And then students were supposed to study with those. But then again, what were the students doing past 13 weeks? Virtually nothing. And they expect to pass? Well, they don't, of course. Don't be students like that. It's gonna be an expensive mistake. So please get and install this Wolfram Player right now. It's free. Now, for some exceptional students, typically mathematics majors, they may want the full version of Mathematica. It's here. It'll lead to UNT System website managed by UNT Denton and how to get Wolfram Mathematica for free. Actually, it's not free. You already paid for it through various student dues and fees, technology fees. And once you install Wolfram Mathematica, it's gonna stay alive as long as you are a registered UNT Dallas student, and then you can use it for free. And it's going to be useful not just for this course, but many more math courses to come. So if you're a mathematics major, this may be a good idea. Otherwise, Wolfram Player is going to be sufficient. Okay, recommended text and references. Okay, this is paper version, and I already talked about Wolfram Mathematica. So let's just move on. Let me emphasize one more time before moving on to the next page. Wolfram Player, this is really important. Okay, let's go to the next page. This is a course outline. This is a timetable I'd like to follow. We have 2 exams. And then we're going to have 2 projects. And projects are due at the end of the semester. But project problems will be discussed in week 7 and week 10, respectively. Okay, here's the grading policy. We have 2 exams, exams 1 and 2, 30% and 40%. And then the others, written assignments through Canvas and computer assignments through WebAssign, and projects, again through Canvas, are 10% each. I'll talk about these assignments in separate videos. I'll have to tell you what they look like and then how to submit. Grade determination. Well, here is the guaranteed cut line. For example, if you scored 80 or higher, then clearly you're going to get B no matter what. You're never going to get C. But there may be some chance that you can get B with 79.2, for example, depending upon how difficult were the exams and how others did and so on and so forth. It's not going to change too much, but there is some chance. In any case, the guaranteed cut lines are here. Let's go to the 3rd page. Instructor-specific policies and procedure, which I'm going to talk about. And then here's some university policies and procedures, which I'll just ask you to read through. They're all the same for all syllabi, so no problem there. And I'll just talk about my specific policies. Exam policy. All exams are proctored, no negotiation. Now, the preferred method is to take the exam in person as scheduled in the exam day. Okay. And the exam day, I'm going to reserve a classroom and a proctor. That's the best, but maybe that's too inconvenient for, variety of your schedules. In that case, please let me know in advance so that I can accommodate accordingly. No problem there. as long as you tell me in advance. Now, if you miss it, and then you tell me after the exam, then you need some documentation. So what did I say here? Yeah, the reschedule request filed after the exam day will not be allowed, except, of course, documented emergencies. So before the exam, you can always tell me and reschedule. After the exam, you need documentation. Now, another way is to take the exam outside UNT Dallas campus, and I've done it in various places, as far as Denver, Colorado, and Washington, D.C. What you can do is to find a proctoring service, which are usually administered by local community colleges and public libraries. And of course, you have to get approval, so it has to be pre-approved. So, well before the exam day, you have to report me what kind of proctoring service you're going to be using, and then I have to communicate with the proctor and then get that authenticated, get the approval from my dean, and then I'm going to arrange accordingly. Now, if the proctoring service is through DCCCD or someplace really nearby, then the authentication process is lightning quick. I've used DCCCD myself before, and it costed me about $30 for exam. Not too bad. And as for that fees for proctoring service, it's going to be students' responsibility. Now, if you're going to use proctoring service in UNT Dallas for UNT Dallas exam, then I think it can be reduced further, maybe possibly even free. You'll have to check. You'll have to check with student services, and student services is in the new building, the student service building. But most of the time, the student who requests for the proctoring service is because they cannot come to UNT Dallas, so they usually use some other place. In that case, you have to give yourself plenty of time, at least 2 weeks or more. Okay, so much for proctored exam. Now, as for the exam, a one-page formula sheet is allowed. So get a letter-size paper, and then you can write all kind of things there, but not the whole class note. So please be careful here. And then preparing that one-page formula sheet is itself a great way to review and everything. My professional my experience and then my professional advice is, please try to be concise in the first page. Don't try to jam in too much so that you'll have to use magnifying glass to read it. And that's not effective. Try to be concise in the first page. In the second page, in the back page, maybe you can cram in various kind of things. As for calculator, TI-80 series calculators or equivalents are allowed, but calculators with computer algebra systems like these or higher, they are not allowed, because if you just put in the question and then answer just pops out, and that's not good. It's not for calculus. No other computing aids, such as tablets or smartphones, will be allowed, because I ended up catching some students misusing tablets or phones during the exam. I used to allow because, well, I thought, what's the point requiring students to purchase that expensive software or expensive calculator? Why not cell phone? But I've caught some students misusing it, so afterwards, no cell phone, no tablet. That's about it. Other things will be discussed in separate videos.